Hello students, it's me Atul Verma again. Now today we are going to discuss about DSS classification. Okay, DSS in DBMS. Managerial decision systems are only as good as the underlying DB supporting it. User can manipulate data temporarily and need special access and authorization to manipulate data in underlying DBS. In order to provide the DSS with the right data, there should be a structure in place for storage, accessing, manipulation, and retrieval of large amount of data. The database is the feeder of the DSS, and good database design is thus crucial in improving the overall performance of the DSS. DSS design and management is a complex and often ill-conceived topic and extends well beyond the scope of this paper. Consequently, our decision on database will permissible at best. A good DBMS ensures data integrity, reduces data redundancy, follows a logical sequence, and are consistent in its performance. Relational databases are in most cases the system of choice. When it comes to design a DSS, this is primarily because of the flexibility associated with the relational DB, but also because it allows normalization, reduction in data duplication, in which help with maintenance of a large database. The ability of this database is to identify relationship between entities, makes information analyzing an important feature to the success of DSS. Some hierarchical and network databases are still being used today, but merely so because of the costs involved with migration to a totally new DB platform overshadows the maintenance cost of legacy system. Even this is gradually managing as more organizations are putting additional requirement on their DSS, underscoring the needs of a more suitable DB design. Because the database constitutes such a vital link in the capability of any DSS, its structure and design should be carefully evaluated and implemented with due concern of application built on top for it. There seems to be a general trend in recent years to either migrate to web-based DSS using a task-specific search engine or to build the DSS around a thin client fat server environment using network and web-based technologies. This is perhaps a further justification of the need for an advanced database system since the internet is the most comprehensive network of thousands of interconnected database and web pages. The data warehouse. DB generally provide current information about the organization related to the underlying transaction process, but it fails to provide historical content rich information that are often more important to the decision making process than stand-alone islands of information. The data warehouse will these gap up, capturing operational data and presenting it in a more meaningful format using a relational database. The ultimately complementing the functions of the DB used in the DSS. Thus, the data warehouse and the DB coexist to provide synergistic outcome with support information requirement of the DSS superimposed of on the system platform. Development in the areas of DP has brought about the use of intelligent agent which assist in the speed and simplicity of ad hoc queries in large DB and data warehouse. Next slide please. Management requirements of the decision support system. Information use and requirement differ at each managerial level. Higher managerial level has a great reliance on external environment information and to some degree less reliance on internal generated information. Top management commonly use information to make decisions about long-term planning and thus analyze long-term trend information to make their decision. Also at top level decision making, conjoint analysis are crucial and manager need more information about risk and uncertainty, potential outcomes and their likelihood, probability, etc. and possible action to take at lower management level. Information emphasized is internal generated and relies on short-term goals. However, reports and analysis generated by lower management team are often used in decision making efforts to tap management, and it is thus crucial that the DSS support the lower management just as much as it leads itself to top management. In short, the information needs of different level of management are directed towards supervisor functions or lower management, tactical decision making for middle management and strategical decision making for the top management. More elaborated outline of information requirement of managers. Moreover, because the DSS are employed to improve management control, it should address the primary task of management control. These are allocating resources to specific activities, preparing budget covering both the expenditure of resources and the expected achievement goals and objectives, observation of result achieved in return for resource used, evaluation of these results, modification of activities and resource allocation in accordance with the evolution of results. Next slide. Among intangible payoffs of decision support system, amongst the many benefits of using a decision support system, some of the intangible advantages include improved internal control, better management awareness of internal strength and weakness and external strength and opportunities, enhance long-term profitability by improving qualities of decision making, faster response to change in the business environment, allows manager to record experience and use it in future for similar scenarios that may arise within the organization. Recorded experience become information once it is used in the managerial decision making process, and it is part of a bigger subcategory of MIS called knowledge management. Keeping this benefit in mind, it is not surprising that decision support system has enjoyed widespread recognition and support over the last decade, and the increasingly being used in company to enhance their strategic competitiveness within various industries. Many companies have a formalized strategic planning process and a governance process at board level. However, the planning process can often generate required rather than decisions. These boards' role in decision making is often just to oversee or ratify. Usually, only routine operational decisions, for example, credit management, have fully documented process. Many decisions are taken by line management outside formal process. The decision making process can be illustrated as a proposal considered by decision makers in the context of the organization and its strategic positions. Alternative risk and potential outcome are considered at then a decision is reached. Also be post audit and a feedback loop. The decision making process is subject to human error as the decision maker have personalities, prejudice and self-interest bias. Importantly, they have different attitude and appetite for risk. There is an opportunity here for management accounts to improve decision making. Therefore, their, their role are finance business partners. Finance must be able to provide timely and accurate management information to achieve impact. However, an effective decision making process and increase shareholder value also depend on finance too. Communication this information effectively, have an understanding of its relevance to the business, share insight, influence the decision, manage the performance and risk effectively. Okay. Evolution of an appropriate decision support system. The DSL design and development process involved into form every aspect of the business process that is going to be affected within the firm, because executive and managers should familiarize themselves with DSS so and they can more accurately communicate their needs and requirements, making it easier for the formulation of deliverables, outlining of capabilities, outcomes, needs, and what decisions should be supported by the proposed DSL. The following steps can be used as a methodology to evaluate, design, and implement a DSS. Firm structure focus. First and foremost, the organization wishing to deploy a DSS needs to clearly outline its strategic focus within the industry. with relevant emphasis on future objective and the direction in which the firm is moving. These will in turn provide the basis of information requirement and scalability of the DSS and will give a framework for the project team charged with designing and implementing the system. Creating an evolution team. Using a multidisciplinary team approach with individuals from database, networking, communication, accounting, etc. A project team should be selected based on background and expertise. This team will perform an initial analysis that will provide the blueprint for the rest of the project. Team formation, forming, norming, storming, and performing. The group dynamic are key aspects which ensure optimal performance of the team as a whole. Consequently, the following issues should be considered during these important phases of the project. Specific role and delegate responsibilities, anticipated and manage time commitment, choose appropriate leadership, create a charge direction for the team with a clearly defined methodology. Defining requirements. The more the team know about DSS categories, the better they will be able to fine tune the specification of the system and select the appropriate type of the decision support system. A multiple disciplinary team approach is necessary with feedback from all relevant stakeholders who are involved in the implementation of DSS. Team members should be made responsible to communicate with other members of the organization who will be offered by the selected DSS, and they should try to express all the relevant needs from different players in the firm. It is crucial to elect by inform all individuals who will use or will be affected by the decision support system, since non-compliances by some parties might dilute the strength of the system. Issues to consider: what function will manager perform now and in the future with the DSS? What control and security are needed? What are the operational performance requirements? What is the design concept? How it fit into the current architecture and network layout? Next slide. System design and evaluating product alternatives. Clearly specific deliverables include the preliminary evaluation of both product and vendor available. Off the shelf DSS are hard to find, and most organizations have to adopt a specific DSS to suit their individual business needs. Functionality screening and deleted were based on predetermined specification and criteria. Cost, design, support, and installation issues should be addressed separately and as a whole. Is the package compatible with the need of the company? Hardware and software requirement includes performance evolution. Can the system handle heavier loads? What is the scalability? What are the direct and indirect costs? Stability, reliability, and consistency of the system. Quality of information provide timely, accurate, reliable, unbiased. restrictions of system, capability of system, after implementation support, cost involved. Negotiation with vendors. Review under according to product offering, reputation in industries, financial stabilities, experience in similar project system. Also clarify issues such as service contract, price of package, time frame of deliverables, review vendors offering and compares with other vendors, vendor involved with implementation, development of system, training of users and offer after implementation support. DSS can be extremely beneficial to any organization overall. Performance, however, DSS can also be the cause of great confusion, misperceptions, and even inaccurate analysis. These systems are not designed to eliminate bad decisions. TSS are there to facilitate a manager in make operational decisions, but the ultimate burden of responsibility lies with the managers. Managers can sometimes be over optimistic in their expectations of a DSS and develop a unrealistic reliance on the system. Also, if manager continue to ask the wrong questions queries, the benefit of the system is already partially lost. When manager have preconceived notation and misconceptions about a certain operational function, a DSS can magnify the harm by justifying the manager's position simply because of the logic of the manager's queries or because the manager draw the wrong conclusion about certain outputs. User of the DSS should be critical consumers and never replace the system function with their own clinical reasoning. A holistic understanding of all the models, templates, and abstraction that the decision support system are built on while give managers a better understanding of how to approach opportunities, challenges, and threat within the organization. The design methodology of decision support system provide the foundation on how the system fits into the operation of the firm and how it can enhance quality decision for managers. These areas of analysis, design and implementation should be viewed with the almost uh, superstitions ever, since failure to produce the right system can lead to more damage than good if managers are unaware of the implicit logical layout of their system. However, decision support system remains a tool that can provide firm with a suitable competitive advantage, and in the many industry a robust decision support system are the rule rather than the exceptions. Technologies involved decision support system will change the adapt to the challenges of the new economy, and firms should thus continuously be aware of new landscape that are being formed and streamlining their information system application with current industry trend and technology advancement. Now, now is a diagram about DSS processing by manager using knowledge, experience, and institutions. Okay, how we get all the decision from data, from knowledge data and database, information about internal and external environment, in-house priority database, process model, finance, accounting, economic, etc. From all sector, it take the data and manage it and process for the decision. Decision making process. Decision making has following distinct phases. First, defining the problem. Second, analyzing the problem. Third, developing alternative solutions. Fourth, deciding upon the best solution. Fifth, making the decision effective. Sixth, implementing and verifying the decision. This is the sixth step. So, first step is defining the problem. Management may see a clash of personality. The real problem may well be poor organization structure. Management may see a problem of manufacturing cost and start a cost production drive. The real problem may will be poor engineering design or poor sales planning. Similarly, management may see an organizational problem. The real problem may well be lack of clear objective. In the light of above, the first job in decision making is therefore to find the real problem and to define it. Symptomatic diagnostic, the method used by most managers is no solution. It is based upon experience rather than upon analysis, which alone rules it out for the business managers who cannot systematically acquire this experience. To arrive at the definition of the problem, the manager must begin by finding the critical factor. Third point, this is the element in the solution that has to be changed before anything else can be changed, moved, and acted upon. To find the critical factors by straight analysis of the problem is only not always easy. Often two subsidiary approaches have to be used. Next slide. One approach assumes that nothing whatever will change and asks what will then happen in time. The other approach projected backward and asks if what that could have been done or left undone at the time this problem first appeared would have materially affected the present situation. The second step in the definition of the problem is to determine the condition for these solutions. The objective for the solution must be thought through. The objective should always reflect the objectives of the business, should always be focused ultimately on business performance and business results. They should always balance and harmonize the immediate at the long range future. They should always take into account both the business as the whole and the actives needed to run it. At the same time, the rules at the limit the solution must be thought through. What are the principles, policies, and rules of conduct that have to followed? It may be a rules of companies never to borrow more than half its capital needs. It may be principle never to hire a man who outside without first considering all inside managers carefully, etc. to spell out the rules of necessary, because in many cases the right decision will require to change expected policy or practices. Design for managers looking to make sense of their information. OLAP tools structure data hierarchical the way managers think of their enterprises, but also allow to business analysts to rotate that data, changing the relationship to get more detailed insight into corporate information. The web-based decision support system are by far the more popular decision support system these days. Their definition and functionality extend far beyond the scope of this paper, and consequently we will not explore this system in detail. Many other decision support systems are on the market today, but to explore all of them would for now be a facetious objects. Keeping the various distinctions and classification of the DSS in mind, a DSS should be described in terms of the dominant technology component or model underlying the system, targeted users specific purpose, primary development or technology. Okay, likewise mainframe, client, server, LAN, web based. Okay, thank you.